office and I'm up at the courthouse. Let me tell my client to, let me text my office. Hold
We
on one
got a
second.
lot of people on this morning, so.
Thank you.
All right. Chambers County probate court come to order. That was number 20 CPR 0099, estate Jimmy Lee Kramer.
All right, good morning, Judge.
Bill, good morning. Ms. Piper,
Good morning.
Hold on, I'm gonna bring him in, Judge.
go ahead.
Where's the application over here? Come on. Scroll a little bit on me.
And of course, have to be got to change some way.
Yeah, okay, let me scoot over a little bit.
Okay.
All righty. Where you at? Yeah,
Bring your chair in.
I need everybody to come.
Okay.
Push the camera back a bit. Push the screen back. Let's turn it up so everybody can see. All right, there we go, Judge.
Sorry, I was muted.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, go ahead and raise your right hand. Anyone that's on that's going to testify, raise your right hand. We'll swear you all in.
Ms. Hamilton?
Now, do you swear or affirm the testimony you're giving today is true and correct, so help you God?
Yes.
Thank you. And you may proceed, Mr. Bill.
Thank you, Judge. I need Ella first up front here. She needs to get closer to the mic here. All right. Okay. All right, Ms. Kramer, can you state your name for the record, please?
Marie Kramer.
Okay, and where do you live, Ms. Kramer?
64 West Lawn.
Slide up here. I'm sure Judge needs to hear you, so come on up. Okay. And we're here on the estate of Jimmy Lee Kramer, is that correct?
Yes.
And who was he to you, please?
He's my husband.
Husband, okay. And number one, okay. So where did Jimmy reside?
Same place.
Same place where you live, right here in Chambers County?
Where, oh, yeah.
Okay.
Where do you live, did you say?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's what I said.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did he die on February 20th of 2020?
Yes.
That was also in Chambers County? Okay, let's come down. Now, how long had y'all been married?
I think it would have been 14 years in June.
Okay. Can you hear her, Judge? Just want to make sure you can hear her. Is that,
It was 13 years.
okay.
That was yes, I could hear.
Okay. And so, but he had other children, correct?
He's got 4 girls.
4, and that was not you, right?
No.
Okay, come down. And who are those?
Tammy and Janet, Jennifer and Miranda.
Okay. And you know that they actually signed a waiver and all that, and we filed that with the court. Is that correct? So they're in agreement that you become the administrator of this estate, correct? Okay. Go back up, please. Number 6, number 5.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so there's a necessity for this administration because his estate needs to be distributed, correct?
Right.
Okay. And you've already listed, and those are the only kids that he had, right?
Yes.
Okay. And y'all's marriage was never dissolved or terminated. He passed away while you were still married, correct? Okay. Come on down. To the best of your knowledge, there is no will, right?
Not that I know of. I don't think so.
Right. You never saw him execute one?
He would have told somebody.
Right. He never told you that, right? Okay.
He did at least tell his mother.
Right, and he didn't tell anybody. Okay, and there are no governmental agencies or charitable organization named, well, there's not, because there's no will, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, you're not disqualified from being appointed administrator for any reason, like convicted of a felony or anything like that, right? No, okay. So what you're asking is the court admit Mr. Kramer's estate into probate so that you can take care of this matter, right?
Right.
Okay. All right. All right. I have two witnesses here, Judge, that signed the affidavits concerning the heirs. One is, can you state your name, please?
Paula Lynette Scott.
Okay, and you signed an affidavit pretty much attesting to what Ms. Kramer had just said. Is that correct?
Yes.
So everything in your affidavit is true and correct. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, and ma'am, your name, please?
Deborah Clay McGowan.
Okay, and Deborah, you did the same thing.
Correct.
And if I asked you the same question that I just asked her, would your answer be the same?
Yes.
Okay, Judge, okay, I'm gonna pass to Georgia.
Ms. Copper.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm going to ask Paula Lynette Scott, how long have you known Mr. Kramer?
I was 12 years old when I first met Jimmy. That would have been 72 or 71, I think.
All right, and
12 and I'm 63 now.
so all of the facts that you put into the affidavit of heirship are of your own personal knowledge,
Yes,
and the only known heirs are the 4 children, all 4 daughters who have signed waivers
Yeah.
approving this, and you have no personal gain in this estate at all. You gain nothing other than in helping the family get this probated.
correct.
All right, and to your knowledge, there was no will.
To my knowledge,
All right. Now I want to ask Deborah McGowan.
Uh-huh. Yes, ma'am.
I would ask you every one of the same questions. Would they be the same? You have no personal gain for any of the facts that you have put into the affidavit of heirships, correct?
Have no personal gain.
You're not getting paid for this. Right.
You're not
And all your facts are from personal knowledge.
No personal gain.
All right. And if I ask you every one of those questions, it would be the same, that it's strictly your knowledge of Mr. Kramer during his lifetime.
Yes, ma'am.
And there's only 4 daughters and 1 widow, and that is the entire decedent's, heirship, which means his wife and his 4 daughters.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I pass the witness. I would ask the Ella Marie Hanks Kramer one question.
Yes.
Is she there?
She's right here.
All right, and you are willing, you're willing to probate the estate as a fiduciary for these 4 daughters in the division of the property pursuant to the Texas intestate law set out in your attorney's judgment and in your affidavits. You're willing to do that, correct? Yes?
yes.
She said yes,
Thank
Ms.
you. I
Clapper.
pass the witness, Alex. I heard
Okay,
it.
so
Thank you so much.
anything else, Mr. Bill?
No, Your Honor, that's it.
All right, Ms. Clapper, you're satisfied with the judgment declaring heirship?
I am, Your Honor.
All right, so I'm gonna
I
prove,
have researched all,
okay. Thank you.
you're fine.
Hey, just one more thing, the only
Go
other
ahead.
thing, she's signing the oath of administrator and the proof of death and other facts as we speak.
Okay, then get it to us. All right, I'm gonna prove first amendment judgment determining heirship and grant letters of administration. Thank you, sir. All right, next is 21 CPR 0013, the state of Michael E. Todd. Ms. Walsh, good morning.
Good morning, Judge. How are you?
I'm good. You got a witness or you testifying?
I am ad litem.
Oh, you're at Lightem. Oh, you sure are. I see that now. Mr. Cook,
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
See you. Okay.
Can you
All
hear
right.
me?
Yes, sir. You may proceed, Council.
Thank you. Can you please take your name for the court?
Name is Patrick Allen Todd.
And we are here today because of the passing of Michael Todd, is that correct?
Yes, Michael Edward.
And Michael Edward Todd was who to you?
He was my brother.
Okay, and how many siblings or heirs were there in your family?
There were 5 brothers in all. One brother passed away the year before Michael did, and he has 3 children himself. There's 4 sections and one of them is split 3 ways.
Okay, so there's Larry Todd,
Yes.
there's Keith Todd,
Yes.
Patrick Todd, yourself,
Yes.
and your brother who has passed left Danny Todd, Carly Todd, and Micah Todd. Is that
Yes,
correct?
that's correct.
Okay. And Your Honor, I'm going to pass the witness in regards to the airship.
Thank you. Now, Lori, Ms. Walsh.
Good morning. I have no questions for the applicant, Your Honor.
Thank you. Call your next witness, Council.
Your Honor, at this time, I'd like to submit the testimony of Michael Todd and take the case under judicial advisement so I can provide the court with additional testimony from witnesses.
Yep.
Okay. So I'm going to go through and ask you some questions that we discussed prior to. Your name is Patrick Todd, and we're here today because Michael Todd died on December 8th of 2020.
Correct.
He lived in Chambers County and he was 69 years of age. Is that correct?
Correct.
And the reason we are in Chambers County today is because he had a fixed place of residency.
Correct.
And to the best of your knowledge, the decedent passed intestate without a will.
Correct.
I showed you what was the citation that has been posted and served and returned in the manner required by the Estates Code. So we are here today because a necessity exists for the administration of the estate, specifically in order to transfer those assets we had discussed within his estate to those heirs.
Correct.
And in the case of your brother, he has been divorced, and the details of that marriage were that he was married to Valerie Chambers and that they were divorced on May 19th of 2014. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. He didn't have a will, and there is a necessity, and we have gathered from the tributees all consents to have an independent administration and also bring for you to be the independent administrator.
Correct.
And to the best of your knowledge, you are not disqualified from serving as administrator. You're not a felon. You have been convicted of any crimes of moral turpitude. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. At this time, Your Honor, I am going to pass the witness.
Ms. Walsh.
Do you have any witnesses on your airship, Mr. Kidd?
I'm sorry?
Do you have any witnesses on your airship?
Oh, we're gonna have to provide additional affidavits to the court
Okay,
following this hearing.
okay. Mr. Todd?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you conduct a search for a will after your brother passed away?
Yes, ma'am, we did. We have been through all kinds of paperwork.
Okay, and y'all didn't find anything regarding a will or paperwork from an attorney about a will?
No, ma'am. We contacted the attorney that Michael used for my father's estate when he passed away a few years back. And we asked him if he had if they had discussed it at all, and there was no contact there.
Okay. And he wasn't married at the time he passed away, correct?
No, ma'am, it wasn't.
He had been previously married?
Yes, ma'am.
And how did that marriage end?
They divorced in 2014.
Okay. And Are you confident that if Mr. Todd had any other children that he took into his home and raised them as his own, you would have known about that?
Yeah, I'm sure that there aren't any children.
Okay. I pass the witness, Your Honor.
Counsel. Okay, so you're going to provide myself and Ms. Walsh affidavits
Yes, Your Honor.
in lieu of calling witnesses? Excuse me.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
I
Your
said in
Honor.
lieu of calling witnesses, you're going to provide affidavits
Yes, Your Honor.
for that item to review and report on?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, then we can't approve that. Can't approve this. That gets anything else before the court today?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, 21 CPR 0044, the state of Jerry Hugh Long. Mr. Bill.
Okay, Judge, here they come. I need everybody in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure that Cynthia is online and we see Scott.
Okay.
Do we need to swear these in or are they in there?
We do. We have 3 swear in, Judge. Y'all come.
Okay.
I'm trying, come on, Crystal. Well.
Christy, you're muted.
Kind of.
Oh,
The
no,
other
they-
two is Scott and Cynthia.
Oh, that's true. That's true, Judge.
What's that?
The other 2, the 2 affidavit, people are going to be online. The Scott Gregg at the bottom. And Cynthia was on there, but it looks like she's not on there no more. We're going to have to try to get her on there real quick.
Okay, so if they were on, we've sworn them in. We need to swear the 3 that just entered your office.
Okay.
Bill, raise your right hand, please.
Okay, raise your right hand, Daniel. Actually, Daniel's the one who's testifying, so go ahead.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're giving today is true and correct, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, you may proceed, Counsel.
Thank you, Judge. I need one of y'all to go get Cynthia back on the line somehow. Okay. All right, Judge. Mr. Long, can you state your name for the record, please?
Jerry Daniel Long,
Okay. And where do you live, sir?
Hillsborough, North Carolina.
Okay. And we're here on the estate of Jerry Hugh Long. Is that correct?
Yes,
And who was he to you?
father,
He was your father? Okay. And where did he reside?
Winnie, Texas,
Winnie, Texas? And so that's Chambers County, right?
Chambers County.
Okay. And where did Mr. Long pass away?
Winnie, Texas,
In Winnie? Okay.
Chambers County.
Okay. All right. And so their heirs, can you scroll down for me, please? Okay, their heirs, you had sisters, correct?
Yes,
Okay, can you state their names, please?
Wendy Gregg, Crystal Burns.
Okay, and those are the 2 that are actually here right now, right?
Yes,
And then of course, so you did have 2 siblings that passed away at a very young age. Is that
Yes.
correct? Can you tell me about that?
Violet died of a crib death.
How old was she?
6 months.
6 months old?
Approximately.
Okay.
David died from a wound. He was approximately 3 years old
Okay, so they passed away early on in their life.
in their life. Yes, sir.
And so obviously they didn't have any children or any heirs.
No, sir.
Okay. Now there's a necessity for this administration, correct? Because you've got to distribute the assets of your dad's estate to your other siblings, correct?
Yes,
Okay. And now your dad was married several times, correct?
yes, sir.
Okay. But he was not married at the time of his passing, correct?
Correct.
Okay, come on down. If you come down. Okay, now he owned property in Winnie, right? Real property.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that's part of what you're trying to have to get this taken care of, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Come down. Now you're not disqualified from accepting letters of administration, right?
No, sir.
Okay, you're not a felon or anything like that.
No, sir.
Okay. Now, you've signed also the proof of death and other facts, as well as the oath of the administrator, which says that you're going to do, you're going to follow the law as far as intestate law is, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you sign that in front of my notary, correct?
Yes.
Okay, all righty. Okay, Judge, now, I've got Scott Gregg, he looks like he's on, and then I had another, she's trying to get on right now, but Scott signed one of the affidavits of heirship, Judge, as well as the other one that's trying to get on right now.
Okay, you want to proceed with Mr. Gregg?
Yes, sir, please.
Mr. Gregg, you need to unmute, sir.
He's on the phone. He probably had to make the phone.
Okay. All right. I'll get off the phone.
He is not able to use the microphone here if she's on the phone.
Right. There he goes. Okay.
There he is. Hi, Mr. Gregg, can you hear me?
Mr. Gregg, can you hear us?
And Miss Cynthia is trying to.
There he is.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
Now, can you hear us? Can you hear me, sir?
Right.
Maybe turn your volume up. Mr. Gregg?
Yes, sir. I barely can't hear you.
Okay. Well, we'll speak up. Did you try turning your volume up?
Yeah, it's turned all the way up.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mr. Bill.
Okay. Scott, can you hear us?
Yeah, I have to put my ear up to the phone though.
See, you got a very, very pretty ear. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. All right. You signed an affidavit, basically testifying to the your knowledge of knowing Mr. Jerry Hugh Long, correct? Is that correct?
Yes, that's
Okay,
correct.
okay. And so everything in your affidavit is true and correct. Is that right?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Okay. And just for the record, how long did you know Mr. Long?
Approximately 22 years.
Okay. All right. So long enough to be able to swear to the affidavit that you signed, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Judge, I'm gonna go ahead and pass Mr. Gregg to Georgia until Cynthia, we're trying to get her logged on here.
All right, Ms. Clapper.
Mr. Gregg, you're a member of the family.
I am married to Wendy Gregg, Wendy
Right.
Long. Yes.
But everything that you're putting in your affidavit, you're not doing that for any gain on your part or because you're being paid. All of this
No.
is based strictly on your knowledge of having known Jerry Hugh Long.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you know of any other children that Mr. Long would have had or any other marriage, the last marriage having ended in divorce here in Chambers County prior to his death? Do you know of any other marriage or children?
No, ma'am, I do not.
All right. Your Honor, that's all the questions that I would ask Mr. Craig. I have done an independent research if you want me to give you my report till Cynthia appears.
You can. I think she's trying to get on now, but go ahead.
Okay. We have looked through every possible internet, ancestor.com, and we can find no other marriages. Actually, Chambers County is where he lives. So we searched the district clerk's records, and his last marriage was to Shirley Ann Touche. He did that 3 times and he divorced 3 times. So he was single at the time of his death. There are these children from North Carolina, the 2 having previously died in essentially infancy. And I spoke with all 3 of them yesterday. They all agreed to their brother, Jerry Daniel Long, being the appointed administrator of the estate to serve without bond. And I find no other children, no other heirs of this decedent, and approve the application as requested.
Thank you, Counselor. So, Mr. Bill, is that Cynthia trying to get on?
It is, Judge.
All right, we can see her. Ask her to call here at 409-267-2440, and we'll get her on the phone.
Okay.
If you can hear me, Cynthia, call 409-267-2440.
440. Oh, listen. Okay, 2440, write me a note, 2440. Okay, hold on. 267-2440. Don't call it. I want you to put this in front of the camera so she can see. Hold on, she can't hear, Judge, but I'm gonna put this note in front of her so that she can call you.
Okay, or you could call her. Why don't you mute yourself and give her a call, see if y'all can have her call in, and we'll come back to you.
Okay, that'd be fine.
All right, thank you. All right, let's go to 21 CPR 0048, interest of Andrea Payne.
Mute me for a second.
Ms. Price, good morning.
Yep, I'm here, Judge.
You
And
may,
I've got my client, she's on my other iPad at the office, Judge.
I see her. It says Cindy Price also.
Yes, Judge.
You may proceed, ma'am.
Thank you. Ms. Simmons, would you state your name for the court record, please?
Yes, ma'am. My name is Courtney Simmons.
And will you tell the court what we're here for today?
We're here to pursue guardianship for my daughter, Andrea Payne.
And can you explain to the court the reasons why there's a necessity for guardianship for Andrea? What's her medical condition?
Andrea was born at 24 weeks, weighing only 1 pound, 2.7 ounces. She's mentally delayed, G-tube fed, and profoundly deaf. She needs total assistance from family.
Okay, thank you. And where does your daughter reside with you, Ms. Simmons?
Yes, ma'am.
And that's here in Chambers County, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you are the mother and her father is deceased, is that correct?
That's correct.
And for all of Andrea's life, you're been the caregiver for Andrea?
Yes, ma'am, her entire life.
So you take her to the doctor to make her doctor's appointments and things like that?
Yes, ma'am.
And now she does have some siblings, but those are minor siblings, is that correct?
She does
And
have
they've been noted. Yeah, so have we served Andrea with service for this guardianship?
Yes, ma'am.
And she has an attorney that was appointed and that attorney has met with you and with Andrew, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And you've had a chance to read through the order that we've provided the court, and you're asking the court to grant you letters of guardianship for a totally incapacitated person, which is your daughter, Andrea, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
I pass this witness, Judge.
Counselor.
Thank you, Judge. Ms. Simmons, Courtney Simmons, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And this is Dick Dawson. I met with you and your child, Andrea, at your residence, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And also at your residence were 3 other children, is that correct?
Correct.
And in terms of support and services, the best support and services would be with you, the mama, is that right?
That's right.
And she's totally incapacitated, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Is she able to hear?
No, sir.
Is she able to talk?
No, sir.
And how is she fed?
By a G-tube in
And
her
what is,
stomach.
okay, and with what regularity is that done?
We do that 3 times a day, 2 milks at with between 4 to 5 hours throughout the day.
Have you had she's enrolled at Barbers Hill School District, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Now, with regard to recreation, with regard to vacation, have you taken her with you on family outings?
Most definitely. She loves to get on the road. That's her most favorite thing, to go to a hotel and swim.
Okay, and how many children are in the home besides Andrea?
3.
And their first names are what?
My daughter, Courtland Payne, and then Elayla Payne, and my baby girl, Eden Simmons.
And they're, at least Courtney and Elayla are aware of this proceeding, right?
Yes, they are.
Not only that, but they assist you, they assist their sister, the disabled Andrea. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. They're able to do just what I can do.
Okay.
Okay. And you're asking to be appointed guardian of your
Now.
child, right?
Right.
Can you hear me, Cindy?
Oh, mute until it calls my name.
Okay. And is she able to, what is her vision?
She has pretty good vision.
Okay. What is her sense of judgment?
She doesn't make good judgments. She doesn't have that capability.
Okay. Does she have a tendency to wander off?
She has, yes. You have to keep a good eye on her.
Okay. All right. Fine. And you're a resident of Chambers County, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you've never, other than maybe traffic tickets, you've never been in trouble with the law, is that correct?
Never been in trouble. No, sir.
Okay, and you have prior experience as a caregiver, do you not?
Yes, to my mother.
Okay, and you're in a 3-bedroom residence, is that correct?
Correct.
All right, and she's not able to handle a property of any kind, is that right?
No, sir.
Okay, well, ma'am, mom, you're to be commended. Thank you for your testimony and God bless you.
Thank you, Mr. Dawson. Same to you.
Ms. Price.
Yeah, thank you, Judge. Judge, we're asking for a minimal cash bond of $50, and Mr. Dawson has been paid his fees.
Okay, I'm gonna approve the order appointing a permanent guardian of person in the state with full authority and a $50 cash bond. Ms. Simmons, you take care.
Thank you. Same to you.
Good
Thank
to
you,
see
Judge.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all can see her in heaven if you.
Yeah. I'm letting my office staff know, Judge, that she can get off the iPad now.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I saw Miss.
Yeah, she's ready. She knows how to unmute now. She's got it.
Okay, I see she's muted. Go ahead and unmute yourself, ma'am.
All right.
Hey, that's good. Raise your right hand, please.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're giving today is true and correct, so help you God? Yes.
All right, Mr. Bill, you may proceed now.
Thank you, Judge. Cynthia, can you state your name for the record, please?
Cynthia Long,
Okay, and where do you live?
9494 Holly Ridge Court, Hildebrand, North Carolina.
Okay, and we're here on the estate of Jerry Long, and you signed an affidavit in front of the notary swearing out some facts. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And so how long have you known Jerry, or did you know Jerry?
Probably a little over 40 years.
Okay. And so you've known him long enough in order to swear out these facts here in this affidavit, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to pass you over to Georgia so she can ask you a few questions, okay?
Ms. Clapper.
Do you have any relationship to Mr. Long? Are you kin to him?
I'm his daughter-in-law.
All right. So you've known him these 40 years. Do you know of any other children that Mr. Long had during his lifetime, other than the 3, Mr. Long, Danny, and the 2 daughters?
I do not.
All right. Do you know of any other marriage other than the last one being to Miss Touche, which dissolved in divorce here in Chambers County prior to his death?
Yes,
Well, obviously, Miss Britton, and that one dissolved by divorce. I mean a marriage after Miss Touche. Let me make
No.
myself clear.
no,
So all the marriages were dissolved by divorce before his death. And the only known children are the 3 heirs named in your affidavit and also in the judgment provided by Mr. Bill, correct?
correct.
And you're not gaining anything by your affidavit or your being part of this proceeding. Nothing's been promised. You're not receiving payment, correct?
I am not.
Thank you very much. Pass witness, Judge.
Mr. Bill.
That's it, Judge.
Okay, no other testimony. I hereby approve the judgment determining heirship and grant letters of independent administration. Thank you, counselors.
Thanks, Judge.
Judge.
All right, cause number 21, CPR 0049, the state of Quentin Jackson. Mr. Fromberger.
Judge, I am stepping in for Mr. Frohnberger.
Okay. Are you testifying or?
Yeah, I am, Judge. I've been sworn.
You may proceed, ma'am.
Thank you. Quentin Jackson was the decedent, died on February the 22nd, 2021 in Houston, Harris County at the age of 56 years old. 4 years have not elapsed since the date of his death. The court has jurisdiction and venue over the estate in that decedent was domiciled and have a fixed place of residence here in Chambers County, Texas on the date of his death. To the best of my knowledge, the decedent died testate and his will was signed on April 27th in 2009. Citation has been served and returned in the manner for the length of time required by the Texas Estates Code, and a necessity exists for the administration of this estate. Decedent's will was self-proven, and to the best of my knowledge, the will filed for probate was never revoked by Quentin Jackson. There is no state governmental agency of the state nor charitable organization named in the will as a devotee. And after the date of the will, no child was born or adopted by the decedent, and no marriage of the decedent was ever dissolved after the date of the will was made. Decedent's last will and testament named James Kramer to serve as independent executor to act independently. And to the best of my knowledge, the proof required for probate has been made, and James Kramer is not disqualified by law from accepting letters of testamentary or from serving as an executor and is entitled to such letters and is the person named in the last will and testament of the decedent. That's all, Judge.
All right, hereby Mr. Will probate authorized letters. Thank you, counselor.
Thank you.
All right, 21 CPR 0055. Let me grab some coffee. I'll be right back. We'll get. Yeah. All right, Mr. Bill, you may proceed, sir.
Which one, Judge?
21 CPR 0055, the state of Melvin, Alfred.
Oh, Judge, that one's, we're passing on that one.
Okay,
today.
you're passing on that one.
Yes, sir.
Well, I saw Ms. Walsh was gone. I wondered. All right, so 21 CPR 0064, the state of Phyllis Elizabeth. Mr. Jackson, good morning. Danny, you're muted.
Again, good morning.
Good morning.
I have a witness, Mr. Donaldson. He's online there.
Ms. Donaldson.
Yes, sir.
And we've sworn you in?
No, sir.
You haven't been sworn in? Raise your right hand then, please.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're giving today is true and correct, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, put your hand down and you may proceed, Counselor.
Mr. Donaldson, please state your full name.
Bruce Kirk Donaldson.
And how are you aware of Phyllis Elizabeth Donaldson?
She's my mother.
And did she die on March 10th, 2021?
Yes, sir.
She died in Chambers County, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And she had a will, was dated May 29th, 2012, is correct?
Yes, sir.
And she did not revoke that will, is that right?
No, sir.
And you were appointed as the administrator or executor of the will, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
There's no reason you'd be disqualified to act as such, is that correct?
No, sir.
You're asking the court to appoint you as such,
Yes, sir.
and there's no state governmental agency or charitable organization giving anything in the will, is that right?
Yes. No, there is nothing.
And there's a necessity for the administration of this estate, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And you're asking the court to waive appraisers and to waive the bond, is that right?
Yes.
That's all the testimony we have, Your Honor.
All right, everybody mentioned a little probate and authorized letters. Thank you, Counselor.
Thank you, Judge.
21 CPR 0065.
Thank you, sir.
William Joseph Singleton.
Good
Bill?
job. Here, William. Yes, sir.
Maybe.
Oh, yes. Okay.
All right, thanks for coming.
Thank you, sir. We need you again. We'll see you.
We have more to do.
Oh, we have more to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have quite a inventory.
Mr. Jackson, would you mute yourself, please?
Oops.
Unmute, mute, unmute, mute.
Sorry.
I understand. Thank you. We need to swear this witness in.
Yes, sir.
Raise your right hand, please.
Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're giving today is true and correct, so help you God?
I do.
You may proceed, Counselor. You put your hand down, sir.
Can you state your name for the record, please?
William Joseph Singleton III.
Okay. And we are here on the estate of William Joseph Singleton Jr., is that correct?
Correct.
And that was your dad, right?
Yes.
And where did your dad live at the time of his passing?
Winnie, Texas.
Okay, so he had a home in Winnie,
Yes.
which is Chambers County, right?
Yes.
And your dad passed away, he was 69?
Correct.
And that was April 25th of 2021, correct?
Yes, it was.
And that was here in Chambers as well?
Yes.
Chambers County? Okay, come down, please. And like I said before, we're in this court here because his home, his residence was here in Chambers County. What was the address? You remember?
105 Pine Ridge Court
In Winnie.
Winnie, Texas.
Okay. And so now you have a will, correct?
Correct.
And that is the will that your dad executed on August 1st of 2017, correct?
Yes.
To the best of your knowledge, that will was never revoked, right?
No.
And it was also made self-approved. You've seen the will. It was executed with all the formalities that needed to be executed in order to have a valid will, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And actually, I was a witness as well as my wife. She was a witness as well on that will, right? Now, where do you reside, Mr. Singleton?
In Houston.
Okay, and that's 1814 Potomac, house
Yes.
number 4?
Correct.
Okay, and now there were no children born to you or adopted to your dad after this will was executed, correct?
Correct.
And no marriages after this will was executed, correct?
Correct.
And no governmental agency or charity is named in the will as a divisor, correct?
Correct.
Now, you're not disqualified from accepting letters testamentary, correct? You're not a felon or anything like that.
No, sir.
Okay. And so you're asking the court to admit your dad's will to probate so that you can distribute the assets in his estate the way that he wished, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Judge, that's all I have.
All right, everybody, Mr. Wood, probate and authorize letters. Thank you, Council.
Thank you, Judge. Okay, that's it. Mute that.
Cause number 21, CPR 0068, state of Runita Co.
That would be me again,
Judge
Judge.
Price, I figured you was doing that again. You may
Yeah.
proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Rooney Cole, decedent, died on May 5th, 2021 in Baytown, Chambers County, Texas at the age of 80 years, and 4 years have not elapsed since the date of decedent's death. This court has jurisdiction and venue of the estate in that decedent was domiciled and had a fixed place of residence in Chambers County, Texas on the date of her death. To the best of my knowledge, decedent died testate and her will was signed on June 29th, 2015. Citation has been served and returned in the manner and for the length of time required by the Texas Estates Code. A necessity exists for the administration of this estate. The decedent's will was self-proved, and to the best of my knowledge, the will filed for probate was never revoked by the decedent. No state governmental agency or of the state or charitable organization is named in the will. And after the date of the will, no child was born or adopted by the decedent. No marriage of the decedent was ever dissolved after the will was made. And the decedent's last will and testament named Heath Lane Robertson to serve as independent executor to act independently. And to the best of my knowledge, the proof required for probate has been made. Heath Lane Robertson is not disqualified by law from accepting letters testamentary or from serving as executor and is entitled to such letters and is the named person in decedent's last will and testament. That's all, Judge.
All right, everybody, Mr. Wood, probate and authorize letters. Thank you, Council. Okay, cause number 21, CPR 0069, the state of Diana Marie Boris. Mr. Fuller.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm present.
Christie, you swear me in, please?
Or will. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you are giving today is true and correct, so help you God?
I do. Your Honor,
You may proceed, Counselor.
Thank you, Judge. Your Honor, my name is Roy Fuller. I'm personally familiar with the family of Diana Marie Boris. The decedent died on October the 22nd, 2020 in Harris County, Texas at the age of 77 years. Obviously, 4 years have not elapsed since the date of her death. She was a resident domiciled in Chambers County. The original will is dated June the 18th, 1996, which has been filed with the court, and I'd ask the court to take judicial notice of that will at this time. To my knowledge, that will is never revoked. There were no children born or adopted after the execution of the will. The decedent did not have a marriage that was dissolved after the execution of the will. The will names the surviving spouse, Gorner Dennis Boris Jr., to serve as independent executor. And to my knowledge, there's no reason why he would be disqualified. The will does not name the state, governmental agency of the state, or a charitable organization as a devotee. There is a need for administration of the estate. It is a non-taxable estate. Would ask the court to waive the bond and admit the will to probate.
Judge, you're muted.
I'm not hearing anything, Judge. I'm assuming everything's going accordingly.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, I admitted the will to probate and authorized the letter. Thank you, Council.
Thank you, Judge.
Man, we've been doing this a year and a half. Still can't figure it out. All right, thank you, Counselor. Cause number 21, CPR 0070, state of Scott Benson Pace.
No, we're set.
All right.
That's mine, Judge. It's my last one for the day.
You may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. Scott Benson Pace is the decedent, died on May 1st, 2021 in Houston, Harris County, Texas at the age of 62, and 4 years have not elapsed since his date of death. He had a fixed place of residence and domiciled here in Chambers County at the date of his death. The document dated September 10th, 2014 purports to be the decedent's last will and testament, was never revoked as far as I know. There is a necessity that exists for the administration of this estate. No child or children were born or adopted to by the decedent after the date of the will, and after the date of decedent's will, no marriage of the decedent was dissolved. There are two named independent co-executors in this will, James I. Pace and Deborah Pace. Deborah is his wife and James Pace is his brother. And James is actually out-of-state judge, but Ms. Pace, of course, is here in Chambers County and is going to become the registered agent. They are not disqualified by law from accepting these letters and are entitled to such letters. There's no governmental entity or charity that was as a devisee for the will, and we're asking for independent letters of testamentary judge.
Admit the will to probate and authorize independent letters. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. If I'm excused.
Yes, ma'am. Have a good day.
Thank you, Judge.
Cause number 21, CPR 0073. The state of Riata Nobis. Mr. McCall, good morning. You're muted, okay. So what?
Can you hear me?
Can now. Christy, go ahead.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're giving today is true and correct, so help you God?
I do.
And you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Rieta Nobis passed away on April the 11th of this year. She had her fixed place of residence in Chambers County on the date of her death. She had a valid written will dated January 4th of 2012. The will was self-proven. The will was never revoked. She didn't leave anything to any governmental entity or charitable organization. She didn't have any children born to or adopted to her after the date of the will. She had no marriage was dissolved after the date of the will. The will named her son Zane Vayon as the independent executor, and he is not disqualified by law from serving as the independent executor, and we're requesting that he be appointed to serve, Your Honor.
About admit the will to probate, authorized letters. Thank you, counsel.
Thank you, Judge.
Cause number 21, CPR 0077. State of Wayne Ray Sullivan. Morning, Mr. Baker. Sandy, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You
May we
sworn
begin?
in, Sandy? No, you may proceed, counsel.
Yes.
Judge, we're here on an application for probate of will as a muniment of title. And Ms. Sullivan, it is true that you were administered the witness oath and you affirm.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you are the surviving spouse of Wayne Ray Sullivan, correct?
Correct.
And y'all lived, well, that marriage ended naturally because he died on or about May 7th of 2021 in Chambers County, Texas, right?
Yes.
And he was 85 years of age.
Yes.
Now, y'all were at the time of his death, y'all resided at 8119 South FM 565 Road in Cove, Chambers County, Texas.
Yes.
All right. And now, Judge, do you have the will in front of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I do.
Thank you. Mr. Sullivan, I'm going to show you what I represent to you as a copy of the will. The judge has the original in front of him. And are you familiar with this document?
Yes.
Are you familiar with your husband's signature?
Yes.
Is that your husband's signature on this will?
Yes, sir.
And this will is dated 21 December 2004, correct?
Correct.
And it's witnessed by Regina Castillo and Susie Davis, correct?
Correct.
And to your knowledge, was that will ever revoked?
No.
If it had been revoked, is it more likely than not that you would have known about it?
I would have known about it.
Okay. Judge, I ask you to look at that will. It's got a self-proving affidavit.
Yes, I'm looking at it right now and I'll acknowledge that, Counselor. Mr. Baker,
There is a particular, I can't hear you, Judge.
Yeah, because you froze
Hello?
up. Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes, sir, I can.
Okay.
Okay.
Back to
Now
the
there's-
self-proving affidavit. Acknowledged.
Correct. Good. Now, there's a particular provision in this will, Ms. Sullivan, that you are the sole devisee if you survive your husband until the will is probated. Are you familiar with that?
Yes,
Or 90 days, whichever is earlier.
yes,
And this will is being probated before 90 days.
correct.
So now, as the alternate beneficiaries are your husband's sons, is only two children, Jeff Wayne Sullivan and Frankie Ray Sullivan, correct?
Correct.
But because you're the sole devisee, there's no administration needed because there's no distribution of property needed.
Correct.
Okay. Now, is it also true that there are no debts to pay?
That's true.
There's
No debts.
Okay. Are you familiar with your husband's financial affairs?
Yes.
Is there a need for an administration of this estate?
No.
Okay. Now, is it also true that if that there were no children born to your husband or adopted by him after the date of this will?
Correct.
Okay. And the judges, you'll see that the will does not name a devisee. The state of Texas is a devisee, a governmental agency, or a charitable organization. And
Yes.
Ms. Sullivan, that's true, correct?
Correct.
Now, is it also true that your husband did not apply for or receive any Medicaid benefits on or after 1 March of 2005?
Correct.
Okay. Let's see. Now, you and your husband married December 8th, 1988, correct?
Correct.
All right. All right, Judge, I ask you to admit this will to probate as an immuniment of title and also waive the requirement of an affidavit because there's no distribution needed. She's the sole devisee.
So now, thank you, Counselor Sandy. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're gonna punch out.
All right, punch out. All right, cause number 21 CPR 0078, State of Charles Lynn Thompson. Mr. Brannick, good morning. You muted, Zach.
Can you hear me now, Judge?
I can hear you now.
All right. I need my client sworn in, Your Honor.
Raise your right hand, Cindy.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're giving today is true and correct, so help you God?
I do.
You may proceed, Counselor.
Thank you, Judge. Cindy, state your name for the record.
Cynthia Ann Thompson,
And Cynthia Ann Thompson, who were you married to?
Charles Lynn Thompson,
And when were y'all married?
October the 30th, 1997.
Okay. And where do you reside?
212 Navajo Trail, Wallaceville, Texas.
And that is in Chambers County, is that correct?
Yes.
Now, I'm going to show you a document that is dated November 10th, 2010. And on this document is the last will and testament of who?
Charles Lynn.
Yeah, your husband, correct?
Yes.
And do you recognize the signature?
Yes.
And I'm showing you the signature, Judge. Could you also look at the file and see that the signature and this is his signature, correct?
Yes.
And this was witnessed by Justin Hampton and Beverly Boyd. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, at the time of your death, at the time of his death, your husband had not had any other wills, and had no other children or anything after that. Is that correct?
Correct.
And in this will, it names you as a sole devisee. Is that correct?
Yes.
And that will does not mention any state or governmental entity as a devisee. Is that correct?
Correct.
And after March 1st of 2005, your husband did not receive any type of Medicaid benefits.
No.
And also at the time of his death, he has had no debts.
No.
Free and
debts.
clear.
Yeah.
And with that, are you asking this judge to admit this as will as immunity of title?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, sir. Everybody admits the will to probate as immuniment of title. Cindy, good to see you. Zach.
See you.
All right, last but not least, 21 CPR 0079, State of Katie B. Gall. Mr. Bill.
Yes, sir. Got 3 witnesses just swear in.
Okay.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're giving
Raise your right
today?
hand, please. Hang on a minute.
Raise your right hand. Yeah.
Christy, you're a little quick to the draw there. ahead.
I've been a little slow before, so I was like ready this time.
Yeah, keep your right hand up.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're giving today is true and correct, so help you God?
Thank you, Krista. You may proceed, Counselor.
All right, just to forewarn you, I've got a copy as well as a non-self-approved will. So Judge, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Okay. Let's see, Mr. Kayla, can you state your name for the record, please?
Me,
Yes, sir.
Franklin Lee Caleb.
Okay, and we are here on the estate of Katie Bessie Kayla Gow. And who is that to you?
My sister.
That's your sister, okay. And where does she live at the time of her passing?
With you.
What was her address?
No, she lived with us.
Live with you?
Oh, she was living with us.
Okay, and that address is at the 1801 FM 1410? South, okay. And that's in Winnie, correct?
Yes, sir.
Chambers County, Texas.
Yes.
Okay, all right. And then she was 81 years old when she passed away, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And she died on April 3rd of 2021.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that was in Beaumont. Was it a facility?
Yes.
I need him to answer.
Yes.
Is it a facility? Okay, okay. And but she resided in Chambers County, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now there's a necessity to probate this will because she has valuables in her estate that need to go to the beneficiary, which is you, right?
Yes, sir.
You're the sole beneficiary in the will, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And this will was executed on October 22nd of 2013, and it was written wholly in her handwriting, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, it was notarized, right? And to the best of your knowledge, it was never revoked.
Best of my knowledge.
Okay, if it would have been revoked or she did another will, more than likely she would have told you, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And now we're dealing with a copy, correct, of the will?
Yeah, we got a copy.
Okay. Now, when she executed this will, did she tell you that the original was in a safety deposit box?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so we actually got an order from the judge here to go into that safety deposit box, correct?
Right.
And all you found was another copy. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay. So, but that copy, you've known your sister your whole life, correct?
Yes.
So
sir.
you knew that handwriting, you know, that is her handwriting, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And if you would have found the original, you would have produced it, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you didn't alter that at all. She gave you a copy for you to hold on for safekeeping. Is that correct?
Yes. Sir.
And to the best, okay. And to the best of your knowledge, you thought the original was in the safe.
Right.
Okay. Okay. Come down. Now, Mr. Kayla, you're not excluded from being an executor because of criminal record or anything like that, right?
No, sir.
Okay. Now, when your sister made this will, there were no children born or adopted to her after she made the will, correct?
No, sir.
Okay. And she didn't get married after she made the
No,
will?
sir.
Okay. And there's no charity or governmental agency that's listed as a beneficiary or devisee in the will, right?
I'm not aware of it.
No, just you. You're the sole beneficiary, correct?
Right.
Okay. Okay, Judge. That's well. And so you're asking the court to admit this will to probate, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, and I'm going to call Niesel Kelly. Where's Niesel? chairs real quick, Mr. Taylor.
Yeah.
Come up here, Miss Kevin. How you doing?
I'm fine. You?
Good.
Morning, ma'am.
Hey,
Can you state your name for the record, please?
Nisel Kelly.
Okay. And on June 1st, you signed an affidavit of 2021. You signed an affidavit, and we filed it with the court that you were personally acquainted with Miss Gal for about 64 years. Is that correct?
Apparently, yeah.
Okay. And you were acquainted, you've known her that long, so you were acquainted with her signature. Is that right?
Yes.
And I'm going to show you a copy of this will, which I've shown you before, but come down. The signature right there. Do you recognize that signature as the signature of Ms. Gal?
Katie Bessie, Kayla Gall.
And you recognize that to
I
be her
do,
signature?
yes.
And as well, since you've known her so long, you recognize that as her handwriting, correct?
Yes, I do.
Okay, all right. So everything you've signed and swore to in this affidavit is true and correct?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Mhm.
All right, and I've got Mr. Monroe Kreitzer, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You used to work at sheriff's. Did you work at sheriff's department?
Little while.
Little while, yeah. Okay.
Morning, Monroe.
Morning, Judge. How are you?
Good. How are you? You member state council.
Thank you, Judge. Now, Mr. Kreitzer, I'm going to ask you what can you state your name for the record, please?
Monroe Kreitzer Jr.
Okay. And I'm going to ask you basically the same questions I just asked Ms. Kelly. And if I asked you those same questions, would your answers be the same?
Yes, sir.
Except the fact that you knew her for about 69 years. Is that correct?
Well, yes, sir, as long as I've lived.
There you go.
Her father and my grandmother, brother and sister.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So like I said, you recognize this copy of this will as her handwriting as well as her signature. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. The best one.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Mr. Kreitzer. Judge, that's all I have. We're just asking to be admitted to probate.
Okay. First amendment order, admitting will to probate and grant letters of administration. Thank you, Counselor. Thank you.
Judge. Y'all have a good day.
Y'all have a good day too. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Thanks a lot.
All right, Christy, we got through that one.
Well, I was so worried about messing up and I finally did, so now I can relax.
I didn't give you too hard a time though.
Well, I guess I don't know the cues yet.
Hey, Robin.
To wait for you to tell me or spit it
Yeah,
out.
I always ask them to raise their right hand, and once they do.
So that's my cue.
Well.
Perfect.
Ma'am, it was
Robin's
good.
here too.
We had a big docket.
Yes, you did. But you still got through it in record time.
Yeah, we did. We did good.
And I hope everything's in your queue like you like it.
There's a month in there. I've tried.
Yes.
It just went along, but I'll get it signed right now and get it all sent down to you.
Well, thanks for making it light.
No problem.
We'll see.